TruthSeekah and or its affiliates are not responsible for any strange phenomena that may occur during or after listening to this podcast, which may include the following: heightened senses of awareness, psychic abilities, UFO sightings, alien contact, time loss, out-of-body experiences, ringing in the ears, ESP, lucid dreaming, increased synchronicities, astral projection, telepathy, stronger intuition, levitation, miraculous healings, and or remote viewing. Please be advised to listen at your own discretion.
Won't you come and take me away? I just wanna be with you. Won't you come and take me away? To a place to walk on troubled seas, faith to stand when I don't believe. I just wanna be with you. Won't you come and take me away? I just wanna be with you. Won't you come?
You are now locked into the TruthSeekah podcast.
Gargoyles! Psychics! Everything's ungodly! Dark's at it!
Streaming live at TruthSeekah.com.
She's not a Christian!
Give it up, y'all.
Your portal to the paranormal, esoteric, and all things spiritual.
She's tampering in Dark's at it stuff!
And now, your host, TruthSeekah.
Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, TruthSeekah. This is the TruthSeekah podcast. I'm excited, delighted to be with you guys again. As always, we're going to be talking about all things spiritual. We're going to be talking about spirituality and the power of the mind, the new science to unlock your brain's hidden power. The book is Inner Size by John Assaraf. It's going to be good. Make sure you guys stay tuned. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who is supporting my work via Patreon. This is a listener-funded, listener-supported show. Doesn't exist without your help. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for partnering with me. You guys mean the world. Give a shout out to some of the latest patrons within the last week or so. Shout out to Salvador Villa. Thank you, my friend, for coming on. Miss Nisa, thank you as well. And TKF. Thank you guys for believing in the work and coming on. If you'd like to support, go to patreon.com/TruthSeekah. There you get access to my entire discography of music, which is 200 plus songs. There's about 7 or 8 new songs that are up there as well that are not released to the general public. So you get access to those behind the scenes stuff, and you get access to our Thursday night School of the Mystics, which is the community aspect to what we're building here. We do guided meditations, prayer, breath work, all of those things, and really just finding like-minded people to roll ideas off of and share your story, just to know that you're not alone, man. So community and tribe is huge in these trying times for sure. You got to go out and find the others, and so we're doing that work for you. So make sure you check us out. Go to patreon.com/TruthSeekah. Also, if you have not had a chance to get it, my book is here, Spirit Realm, Angels, Demons, Spirits, and the Sovereignty of God, foreword by Jordan Maxwell. Make sure you get your copy of that if you have not had a chance to get it yet. TruthSeekah.com. It's available there. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and welcome on today's guest, my friend, John Assaraf. Brother, welcome to the show, man. I'm glad we finally was able to do this. We've been trying to do this for months, and here we are, man.
Hey, it's great to be with you, especially, end of year. We're wrapping up a challenging year, an exciting year, a year of confusion and stress and opportunity and everything in between. So great to be with you.
Yeah, it's a great time to be alive. Interesting time for sure. And like you said, wrapping up the year, wrapping up 2020, new vision, things becoming clear. For me, going into 2020 was huge for me of a year of just going in with the mind of breakthrough and trying new things for the first time. I took my first flight, held my first retreat, did my first 2 weddings that I was able to facilitate, and just a bunch of new stuff. Really cool. And I went into 2020 with this, and it just opened up so much more. We bought our house. We spent our first night in it last night. So much in 2020 was a blessing for me, and I made the best of it. So wrapping up 2020, going into 2021, like how important is it to have a good mindset, and what are some ways that we can unlock the mind so that it serves us, and people feel like a victim in their own mind these days,
Yeah, a lot of people feel victimized by outside circumstances, for the most part, just not in your control. And our brain has been hijacked, since February basically of this year. With this obviously pandemic, how serious is it? Will I get it? Will it kill me? Will it kill my children, my brother, my sister, my mother, my father? What will it do to my work, my business, the opportunities, the goals, dreams I had, the travel I wanted to do? It's put an enormous amount of stress and pressure, and change for a brain that doesn't like ongoing stress and ongoing change. And so unless you have the learned skill of managing and then mastering your mindset, your focus, your awareness, then you are a victim of it. But even in the times that we're in, the question I ask even, my students is, are there people that actually got healthier this year? Are there people that started their businesses and bought new homes this year? Are there people that their relationships got better, not worse? Are there people that, wrote their book? Are there people that became coaches? Are there people that actually took inspired action in spite of the circumstances that we're all in? And the answer, I think everybody knows, is of course, yes, there are people who did that. And I invite everybody to ask, what did they do, or what are they doing differently than what you might be doing? Is it possible that both chaos and stress is there at the same time opportunity and calmness is there? Because both are within us, right?
Yep.
And I love what you do and what you teach. It helps us get to the core essence of who and what we are. And what if we operated from that place outwards and not allow the circumstances in the physical world, so to speak, to control our thinking and our emotions?
Yeah, and I know, that's a lot to unpack. There are techniques, there's ways to, retrain the mind and all this stuff. And I want to get into it with you and discuss your new book. But where did this start for you? Like, when did this become real? What age did you find out that there was more to the mind and mastering it and thinking on these beautiful things versus getting beat up by those thoughts and stuff?
So from the age of 13 to 18, I was involved in some small hoodlum street gangs in Montreal, Canada, selling drugs, doing breaking and entries, and doing illegal things that I'm certainly at 59 not proud of. But at that time, I thought that's what I needed to do, because I left high school, grade 11, needed some money in my pocket to be able to just survive. And so I just did things that I thought I had to do. And, at that time I was feeling like I was a victim of the world, so to speak. And I had a chance meeting that my brother set up with a gentleman. And this gentleman was very successful, very grounded, husband, father, philanthropist. And he was somebody that, I looked up to even in the first 5 minutes that I met him, based on what my brother told him. And he asked me what I wanted to achieve in my life. And I said, well, I'd like to get a full-time job where I make more than $1.65 an hour. I'd like to buy a car. I'd like to move out of my parents' house. I was 19. It was April of 1980, just to put it into perspective. And he said, well, that's all nice and dandy, but what else do you want to achieve in your life? Who do you want to help other than yourself? How much money do you want to make? What kind of home would you like? What kind of lifestyle would you like? And the answer for me was, I had no idea. And so he gave me this document, and it was the 1980 goal setting guide. And he said, take 10 minutes and just write out the answers to some of these questions. And so I wrote out how much I wanted to earn, what kind of lifestyle I wanted. I wanted to, help certain charities and my parents, et cetera, and travel and enjoy the world. And then he asked me one defining question that changed my life. And the defining question was this. He held up the sheets of paper that I gave him, and he said, are you interested in achieving all of these things that you wrote down that you have no idea how to achieve, or are you committed? And so I said, his name was Mr. Brown. I said, Mr. Brown, what's the difference? And he says, if you're interested, you'll come up with stories, reasons, and excuses why you can't or why it's not possible.
Yeah.
He said, but if you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes. You'll upgrade your awareness. You'll upgrade your beliefs. You'll upgrade your knowledge, your skills, and your habits, and you will become the type of person, the identity, the character traits of the person that can achieve every one of those goals and dreams. So are you interested? Are you committed? He said. And I sheepishly said, well, I'm committed. And he reached out his hand. He said, in that case, I will be your mentor. And I said to him, wow, I mean, that's awesome. What's a mentor? and this is a true story, exactly how it happened. And he explained to me, the mentor is somebody who can guide you on what to do to achieve your goals, what not to do so you don't fall flat on your face. And a mentor is somebody who will give you shortcuts, tools, techniques, and resources based on their experiences. And that was the beginning of me seeing me differently through the eyes of somebody who saw more in me than I saw in me. I thought I wasn't smart enough because I left high school in grade 11, failed English, failed math. Father was a cab driver, lovely man. Mother, lovely mom, a seamstress. But they didn't have any of the things in life that I had written on these pieces of paper. They certainly didn't know how to achieve those things. And so I had somebody who was willing to show me the path, right? So, like a spiritual guru or a business guru. Mm-hmm. And that was the beginning of me understanding that mindset is what separates the best from the rest. And then I had a major health issue that really started to cause me to explore my spiritual practices.
There's so much to unpack what you just said, so many questions I have for you. One of the interesting thing you just said, like a spiritual guru or a business guru, nowadays, can we be both?
Of course you can. When I wrote my first New York Times bestselling book, Having It All, I had the moniker called the spiritual entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And that's the tagline that I used to use. And people ask me, why do you use the spiritual entrepreneur? And I said, well, everything comes from this spiritual side of our being. Yeah. And I used to give people a visual. I said, a piece of ice in physical form, right? Or H2O, hydrogen and oxygen in physical form, we call it ice, right? We call it liquid when it's in a different state of vibration. When we heat that up, we call it air, ether, or gas, right? It's still the same H2O. Yeah. So from my mentors, I have learned that everything comes from the no thing. So nothing, but it's from the no thing. So at the atomic scale, at the nucleus, of an atom, there's just vibrating packets of energy called quantum. And we are in this quantum field in physical form. And then we have a brain that can navigate between different layers of this field of consciousness. And so I believe that everything emanates from that. But a lot of people are working on the physical level of life versus the spiritual. And so we can unpack that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, do you start in the spiritual? I mean, I do, whether it's like a vision quest or meditation or just kind of getting that picture of what you want. Just like your mentor, write this down. What do you want? You got to see the vision, write it down. But then what's the process? Because when it comes to manifestation and things like that, like there's time that's involved. There's seed time, harvest. Like it takes a while. Some of it seems instant, which I don't understand. Some manifestation is like the next day a door is open because you said yes. Some it could take 6 months, 6 years even. Like how does it start and how does it evolve?
So in my teachings and my books and to my clients, I have a program called the Exceptional Life Coaching Program. I teach this model called SEMP. SEMP. And before I share with you what that is, I want you to think about this for just a moment, and maybe we can have a little bit of fun together with everybody who's listening or watching. Is it true that everything is made up of energy? Right? Sure. And then if I am sitting at the piano, I heard you play music, and I hit the A440 key on the piano, how is it that a chandelier 15 feet away will start to vibrate? There is no string between the piano and the chandelier. And the answer is because it's in resonance, right? How does a tuning fork work, right? So if you play a tuning fork, you probably have them right there, right? How does that work? There you go, right? So you have an instrument, right, to create a vibrational sound field that, activates certain things within ourselves. So let me come back to manifestation. And is it possible that, when you have a radio in front of you and you tune in to, let's say, 95.5, right on that station, there's jazz. And if you go to 95.6, it's punk rock. So where is the punk rock while you're listening to the jazz? It's there. The vibration, the frequency is in the room you're in the car you're in the tent that you're in, that's tuning in to the frequencies that are already here. So with that said, is it possible that if I can harmonize, get into coherence, the spiritual side of my being, the emotional side of my being. Emotions is nothing more than energy in motion. And the mental side of my being and my physical, moving it into action. Is it possible that using this SEMP model, SEMP, I can be more in coherence and in harmony with what it is that I want, instead of focusing whether my mindset or my emotions on what I don't want? If it's true that everything is energy, which I believe it is, and we are either in concert or in chaos, then isn't my job, one of my jobs, to create as much harmony and chaos and to tune in to the frequency of abundance, to the frequency of health, to the frequency of financial security, to the frequency of love, to the frequency of whatever it is that I want? So you asked me about a process, and I have on my desk something called the Exceptional Life Blueprint. And over the last 40 years, I've created a process for myself and clients that I take through this, of first getting clear. For example, I'm known pretty much for creating vision boards. If you ever saw the movie The Secret, there's a story there. But I start off with pictures and images of what I want. But then I convert that also into, what are the core prayers that'll get me into coherence? What's my life's purpose? What are my guiding principles? What are my goals for my business, for health, for charity, for spiritual growth? And whereas I take the time to first get the vision and the goals absolutely clear, regardless of whether I have the knowledge, the skills, the tools, and resources to achieve it. Because if it's true that we are spiritual, then all the answers, tools, resources, people are here already. So if I want to be in resonance, then let's first use my brain and this quantum field properly. Let me tune my brain. I also have my plastic brain on top of my desk. Let me first tune my brain into the specific channels that I want. So that's part 1 and 2 or so of what it is that I do. And then there's practices that I have and teach to every one of my clients to get into coherence and harmony.
Now, what was the first thing that happened that made you, realize that this was real? Like, because, it's spiritual, woo-woo, all this kind of stuff. But when did it become real? When did you see something that manifested or came into your reality? Was it something that happened that was like, okay, there's more to this that I need to keep at it and maintain this and go deeper?
Sure. So a couple of things. When I was 23, I was working really hard to try and make money and get ahead of the game. There was always too much month left at the end of the money in my world when I was younger. So I was working really hard, and I ended up with severe ulcerative colitis, which means I had ulcers in my colon I didn't have any bowel control, so I would shit all over the place without control, whether it was in bed or in a car or in a restaurant. Made no difference. If I had to go, it was like, oh, holy mackerel, gotta go. And I started doing a little bit of research on what's causing this. Forget about the effect.
Yeah.
2 years, I was taking 25 pills a day. I was doing a cortisone enema in the morning, cortisone enema at night, and then a sigmoidoscopy, which is a test every month where they inserted a tube into my rectum to see what's going on in my colon, how far along my colon this was. So it was pretty serious. And so I heard a show on TV, and they talked about this word called psychoneuroimmunology. Big freaking word. All it meant is there's a mind-body connection. And they said that if you're in a state of dis-ease, your cells vibrate in a state of chaos and dis-ease. But if you can get into a state of at ease and coherence, then you can actually heal yourself. I go, wow, how do you do that? So I did a bunch of research, and they said, okay, well, you can use affirmations to change your vibrational state. You can use prayers to change your vibrational state. You can do meditation to get into a state of calmness. So I said, listen, I'm in so much pain and discomfort, I'm going to try it all. So I said, okay, I'm going to start with some affirmations. And I have, this one affirmation I've had for 37 years that says, my body and all its organs were created by the infinite intelligence in my subconscious mind. It created all my body's tissues, organs, muscles, and everything else within me. It knows how to heal me and make me whole and perfect now. And that's a paraphrase of this affirmation. And so every day I read that. Every day I visualized that. Every day I meditated on being healthy instead of focusing on how sick I was. And 5 weeks after doing this every day, while I exercised, while I ate better, while I did everything possible, spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical, 5 weeks later, all my symptoms were gone. That was 37 or 34 years ago.
Wow.
So that was the beginning. And then I said, okay, well, if I can have more mental and emotional control and tap into this spiritual thing, could I build, my business and career doing this? Can I focus on a business? Can I focus on money? Can I focus on being in coherence, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically? And from the age of 26 to 37, I built my own real estate company with 85 offices, 1,200 salespeople doing $4.5 billion a year in sales. So holy shit, yeah, you can use it to build companies and make money. And what I want to make sure that people do not hear is that all it takes is write down a goal, meditate on it. No. Remember, spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. Okay. In the proverbial law of attraction everybody talks about, there's one thing a lot of people forget to talk about. And in addition to the law of attraction, there's the law of Goya that most people have never even heard of. Would you like me to share what that is?
Yeah, I've never heard of that by that name anyway.
Actually, the law of laws, and it's the get off your ass law. And do the right thing in the right order at the right time. So if there are spiritual laws, let's understand those. If there are laws on mastering emotions, let's understand those. If there's laws or techniques to master mindset, let's understand those. And if there are certain things on this beautiful blue planet that we need to do in order to achieve the success that we want, not forget that. Now we're in coherence.
Yeah. And those two really have to be in coherence, right? Because you see people who work their ass off and they're tired. They don't, working their ass off in a field that they hate, they loathe, they don't want to be there. But while they're there, they're doing good, and they don't have the spiritual aspect. And then you have spiritual aspect, but they don't have the Goya aspect as well. So it really is a balance of the two, right?
Yeah, and I have cues on my desks and all over my office as an example of that I share. I said, have you ever tried to solve the Rubik's Cube? And most people, in your age, my age, have tried to solve it, and very few people have actually solved it on their own. They can work for, 10 years and never solve it. And the question is, why is it so hard when it's solved? Does it make a difference how hard you work to solve it? And the answer is no. There are too many possible moves to screw it up. There's actually millions of different permeations and moves you can make. So you can work hard every day for the next 10 years and not solve this. But you can also hop on YouTube, and in less than 15 minutes, you just know where to turn this, where to turn that, and you could discover the algorithm to take something that is complex and hard and make it way, way, way easier. And so for every result that we want to achieve on this blue planet, I'm going to colonize Mars. All the how-to is already here. Yeah. So if you don't know how to, when would now be a good time to figure out the exact steps you need to take and then just take those steps?
That's good. Now, what about doing the right thing, right? You have the chaos and the order, right? What if you're doing a lot of these steps, but you're creating chaos, or you're doing it with ill intentions even, or you're, because people try to work their way up the corporate ladder, but in a lot of that stuff, you have to step on people, you have to, it's not really it's not always, I guess, nice guys finish last in many cases. But I say that to link it to what you said about your past and being in a gang activity with, and I want to use, for example, drug dealers, with work ethic, entrepreneurs, right? They're working smart, they're working hard, but they're kind of like working against themselves with, the hustle and the work ethic and the drive. But if they use all of those tools for the right reasons, it would be something that, that would benefit humanity, that would be able to benefit their families, or build something that has residual income that worked while they wasn't there, all of that kind of stuff. But how would you, like, if you looked at the mindset of like somebody who's selling drugs, and the work ethic, the drive, the entrepreneurship seems to be there, but it seems to be off for some reason?
Yeah, so a couple things, it intertwines a couple of areas of my studies and my research, and that is, our perception equals our projection. Our perception equals our projection. So I don't believe you have to be immoral or do illegal things to climb up the corporate ladder. My belief is that nice guys finish great. And there are nice guys that don't, because they don't do the right thing. So listen, just like we can use, a microwave to cook your food, you can use a microwave to cook a human. Just like we can use a knife to slice, a tomato, you can use a knife to kill somebody. So in the spiritual realm that we talked about earlier, you cannot have an up without a down, an inside without an outside, a positive without a negative. It just doesn't exist. It exists in perfect order and harmony in this field of all potentiality. So what we know is, if we want to dive into the world of quantum physics as well, everything exists in the quantum level as a wave and a particle. And then our focus collapses that wave into a probability instead of a possibility. So if your perception, is that the people who get ahead are screwing everybody, all you see are the people that are getting ahead screwing everybody. If you believe that there's people who get ahead by helping others, then that's what you see and find. And the truth, though, at the higher level of awareness is both exist. And so which are you going to focus on? Climbing the ladder professionally with love and kindness and by giving and becoming more, or by methods that you're not proud of for yourself? So when anybody does something that's illegal or immoral, knowingly, then it's a belief system that's driving the behavior. So they believe that this is what I must do. It's either because I have a low self-image of myself, I don't feel I'm good enough, smart enough, worthy enough to achieve it. Therefore, I have to apply these strategies to do that. And what happens is when you actually can show somebody, do you realize what you're actually doing and the boomerang effect that you are having on your own life energetically? Do you realize that you are made from the exact same thing that everything in the universe was made from? Everything about you was created in the furnace of a star. Do you realize that that which created you is you? It's within you. If you take a bucket of ocean water and you move it 5,000 miles inland, you still have a little bit of the whole. So whatever it is that created you and me and everything else, it must be in you. It must be in me. And if that is omnipotent and omnipresent in all places at all times, then there's no lack, there's no scarcity, there's no limitation except the ones that I impose on myself, either because of conditioning or because I choose to deliberately.
You talk about how everything's already out there. Most of it's in a book. There's nothing that has, that there's no trial, there's no tribulation, there's no work ethic, there's no how-to that hasn't been written or is on YouTube. When I started doing podcasting and I was wanting to take it to the next level, like I went from listening to podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience or Coast to Coast AM, which I loved, and I started listening to podcasts about how to podcast, what microphones to use, how to render your audio, what is the bit rate of the audio, and which is the best app, what service to use, and which ones to stay away from. I started like learning all this stuff for free. Like it was out there for free on YouTube and on other podcasts and stuff. When it comes to with that out there, anything you want to learn, you can look it up. I fixed my truck on. If I would have took it to a dealership or a mechanic, they would have charged me a couple $100 and literally tightened one screw that I found out how to do it on YouTube. Everything's out. Whatever you want to learn and study with your business, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
That's right.
People are trying to reinvent the wheel. I don't want to do it like they're doing it. I want to do it differently. It's going to look different. With all the resources out there literally at our fingertips on our smartphones of starting a YouTube channel or starting a podcast on whatever you're interested in and whatever you're into, there's the ability to monetize it, market it, and give people value that you in turn can get, income back from it, and people will take care of you and help you get what you want as long as you help them get what they want. With that being said, with the internet, and then hiring a mentor, someone one-on-one, because usually to hire someone who's going to teach you everything that they've learned and take you through these steps. And not everybody can afford a mentor right off the bat. But many of those mentors, like myself, like you, we have interviews. We have a lot of free resources. We have something that maybe even in a book or something like that, right? That people can get for free even. What would you say to someone who's thinking about hiring a mentor, and then the other people who would love to, but they just can't afford it to get to the next level?
Sure. So I have a variety of different thoughts on it, right? So every one of us, I have tons of free stuff on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. I have, a mentoring program at $39.60 a month or $297 for a whole year, where I'm sharing hundreds of hours of training people. But that set aside, I want people to think of being resourceful in the absence of resources. So that's number one. But then at a higher level than even that, if you are looking at any result you have in your life, let's say you're looking at your bank account and there's not enough money there. One of the keys to using your $100 billion brain better is to teach yourself that if you look at your current circumstances and you allow your emotions and your mindset to go, shit, look at this. I don't have enough money in the bank. I'm not making enough. I'm in debt. I can't even pay for my carton of milk today.
Yeah.
As soon as you look at that and feel that, then you're thinking about what you feel and you feel what you think about. And unbeknownst to you, you are recreating, reinvigorating, reinforcing a pattern of lack and limitation and scarcity when abundance exists. And so here is something that you may want to do and understand. Is any result that you're currently looking at that you like or don't like, all results in the physical world are effects. You're looking at what you thought about and felt and did in the past or didn't do. You're seeing the result on that piece of paper or on your mobile phone or in the mirror.
Yep.
So if you want to make 100% certain, right, that in the next week, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you don't look at that paper in the mirror or that relationship and say, shit, it's still there. It's still happening. You have to alter, okay, the thought process and the emotions and the behavior starting right now. And I'm going to say this again, is if you keep collapsing the same wave, okay, at the energetic level with your thoughts and emotions and follow through with your behaviors, you're going to keep achieving the same results. And, you know, I share with people, I said, if you all of a sudden found out that, you know, you woke up in the morning and you had the worst freaking toothache you've ever had, and then your whole head was just pounding, and you didn't have any money in the bank, and you had to go see a dentist, would you find the money? And almost everybody says, well, yeah, if I had a big toothache and I had to go to the dentist, I need to pay them cash because I don't have any credit, I'd find the money. Well, what if you found the money for something that's going to change your results? Why not have the same resourcefulness and pain on stopping the disruptive, destructive patterns? If you have the same commitment to achieving success as you do to getting rid of a nasty toothache, you will have more than enough resources.
That's so good. It's the same mindset, right? It's how bad do you want it? Is that it?
Yeah. Well, it's how committed are you?
Yeah.
Here's what I want people to understand. I'm obviously showing a plastic brain here, right? But do you have any idea of how much money has been spent to try and recreate the human brain? I mean, hundreds of billions of dollars. Have you ever considered that you already own something worth hundreds of billions of dollars, but you just don't have the user's manual on how to use it? You've got the most sophisticated, you know, rocket ship computer in the world at your disposal, and you don't even know how to turn it on, or maybe that's all you know how to do is turn it on, but you don't know more than 3 or 4 of the buttons. And with just a little bit of what I call inner size, you can have the keys to the kingdom.
How hard is it? Because, like, you know, a lot of people think, oh man, there's a lot of stuff I got to do. You got a lot of techniques. I gotta relearn these things. Is it made simple for us? Is it practical?
Of course it is. You know, so, you know, in addition to our brain, right, if you took away your face and my face and your glasses and your beard, and we just took away our skull and our skin and all that stuff, and we had this organism called the brain with a nervous system connected to the brain stem, right, flowing down my arms and my back. And, you know, light allows, light comes in through our eyes and sound comes in through our ears. We've got this highly sophisticated organism with circuits that turn on and off. So stress circuit turns on or off, motivational circuit turns on off, spiritual circuit turn on and off. We have networks that are connected and certain things turn on or off the networks. So we have, you know, fear, for example, is one of the big parts of our networks. We have a nervous system, one that's wired millions of years of evolution to keep us away from real or imagined danger. Like a saber-toothed tiger, we'll fight it, you know, we'll run away, or we'll freeze to stay quiet so it doesn't see us, you know. Or we have this other nervous system called the parasympathetic nervous system that allows us to be calm so we can respond to the challenges, that are in front of us. And I call those the Einstein part of the brain and the Frankenstein part of the brain. And that's kind of like the gas and the brakes of your car. If you don't know how to use the gas and the brakes in your car, trust me, you can't drive. Yeah. So you have this brain, you have these circuits that you can learn to turn them on or off on command. You have the ability to upgrade your knowledge and skills. And here's what's going to happen for people. I think this will ring true, is in life, right? Jim Rohn had a wonderful quote. He said, you're either going to pay the price of discipline or you're going to pay the price of regret. Right? He says, discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. And I like to back that up with, you're either going to master disappointment and feel comfortable disappointing yourself over and over and over again, or you're going to master change. One of the two. And change requires a little bit of energy and a commitment to, okay, I'm going to master this game. And mastery is available in the game of health and wealth and relationship, career and business, because all the information is already out there. It's like if you want to become a martial artist, the information's there, the teachers are there. If you want to learn how to be a really good Rubik's Cuber or a yo-yoer, the how-to is there. But the how-to has levels to it, right? You've got what I call the kindergarten stage, where you just play around at it. You got the grade school where you learn a few things. You got the high school, a little bit more competition. University, well, a little bit more competition there. Then the pros, then the all-star, then the Hall of Fame, right? So there's different layers for health, wealth, relationships, career, business, finance, etc. Yeah. All of which are available to every human being that's committed.
Yeah. Almost like the Rubik's Cube thing, like there's people who are doing it blindfolded, right? That's the next level.
Behind their back.
That's next level.
With their feet and with their hands at the same time. In the air, there's a guy on YouTube that's doing it in the air, 3 of them in the air juggling, and he's doing it with 2 hands in the air. It's mind-boggling. That's how good you can get at the level of mastery. But first, let's start off with, let's just learn some of the fundamentals first.
Got to go get one first, right?
Yeah, and if you want to learn the rules, you get one, go to YouTube.
Yep. That's good stuff. It is practical. The spirituality is practical. It all comes back to the mind, right? Because again, when we're talking about the secret or the law of attraction, and is it just retraining your mind on how to see these frequencies or see these holes in the matrix, things that are already there? I feel like we're just retraining our mind to look for opportunity that is there.
Let me show you something. It's going to take me 10 seconds to get something that I show. And I'm going to show it to you in real time. I'm going to get it on my mobile phone. And I'm going to ask you if you've ever seen this logo, okay? Have you ever seen this logo?
Got it. Yes. FedEx, for those who are listening.
So FedEx, for those who are listening. Can you tell me how many times you've seen it in your lifetime? I'm going to take you through a couple little things. How many times have you seen it? 10 times? 100 times?
Over. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, so you've seen it. Can you tell me where the arrow is in the FedEx logo?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, I'm going to show you something.
If I'm not looking at it.
Okay, so can you see the arrow now?
Got it.
Do you see it? Did you see the arrow?
Yep. There's an arrow in the logo.
How come you didn't see it when it's been there since you've been born?
I wasn't looking for it. Didn't notice it.
You wasn't looking for it, notice it, and your brain didn't have cells of recognition to be able to quickly get it. Do you know where the tire is that's coming towards you in the FedEx logo?
No.
No? Take a look at the D and look at the tire coming at you. Can you see that? Look at the circle in the tire right there. Okay. Was that always there?
Yep.
I'm going to give you one more. Your brain wasn't trained to look for it. Do you know that there's a little measuring spoon, like a baker's spoon, to measure flour or sugar? Have you ever seen that?
Not in the logo. I haven't.
Look at the bottom of the
it now. Yes, I see it now.
There you go. So what did I just do? Number one is I primed your brain to see something that's already there that you all always deleted or distorted because A, there was no need for it. I get that, right? But B, our brain deletes and distorts anything that isn't already part of our map of reality. So that little trick, right, is just a way that I can show you that you're not seeing all of the possibilities. You're not hearing all of the spectrum of the sound spectrum. And you're certainly, and me too, not doing everything possible to achieve our goals and dreams. So, you know, when you and I first talked off air earlier, you know, and you're talking about meditation, right? Meditation actually puts our brain in a state of self-awareness, but it also helps us quiet the noise so we can actually be better observers.
That's good.
Better observers of what's happening within us, and also better observers that's what's happening outside of us. And so, you know, meditation is one of the techniques that's, you know, one of the most underutilized techniques that really connects you to this field of everything, which then gives you the knowing that I am part of everything and everything is part of me. And now can I train my brain to help me see the things that are in line with the financial, business, goals, music, podcast, book, whatever it is that I want. If it's already here, then awareness is what's going to give me choice, and choice is what gives me my freedom.
That's awesome. I love it. And so with that same mindset of seeing what's already there, but it's been there the whole time, you just didn't know it. I often talk about the game of life, and it comes with rules. And for me, these rules are universal laws, even, you know, and there's many, but we're playing this game, but we haven't read the rule book. We don't know that there are these laws on how to use your brain, how to use your mind, positive thinking, and all of this stuff is into universal law. Would you say that's something similar as well? We're playing the game of life, but don't know the rules to this game?
Sure. In my first book, New York Times best-selling book, Having It All, I actually talk about universal laws and not you know, things that we think are happening. You know, we know this is how the universe operates, and then we are in the universe. Nature and us are one, and there are the laws of nature, right? So, I mean, you know, the only way that this thing is not falling down, the law of gravity, obviously, is if I put something in, to block it right here. So there are certain laws and principles that are foundational to our life. And when we understand what those laws are, and we apply ourselves within those laws, achieving the success that we want becomes effortless, not effortless, effortless, not stressless, but stressless.
Got it.
When we are in harmony and in coherence, think about this. Do you play music too? I see, I think a guitar behind you, right? Yep. So when you play music, right, if there's another person playing music with you, there's effort that you're putting into it. But if you've practiced, then it's effortless. Yeah. And if you get into harmony with the other musicians, you create a coherence wave, right, that intersects, and the two or three or four of you create magic together. You amplify the vibrational field by being in concert. I'm going to challenge everybody who's listening to get into spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical concert. And you have the most powerful biocomputer. You don't have to pay for it. It's called your brain. Just learn a few techniques to use it better.
Man, John, I enjoyed this talk. You brought so much content. You brought so much quality and help to this conversation, to my community. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Your new book is Inner Size, The New Science to Unlock Your Brain's Hidden Power. It's available at Amazon. All of your other stuff, where's the best place to go to check out your work and what you're bringing to the table?
Sure. So my company is called myneurogym.com. That's the website, myneurogym.com. I'm on Instagram at John Assaraf. I'm on, I've got a Facebook fan page. I'm on Twitter as well, and LinkedIn and YouTube. So lots of, and then obviously you can find my books on Amazon.
John, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Really enjoyed this talk, man. We'll have to do it again. Thank you so much for hanging out. Many blessings.
Great day.
All right, John, have a good day. You too. John Assaraf, ladies and gentlemen. Good stuff. Listen, renew your mind. Change the way that you're thinking. Get rid of the stinking thinking. If you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at will change. Speak life to it. Positive affirmations. Listen, change his life. He believes in it. I believe in it. We listen to a lot of, Christian worship music and just positive music, man. And it really helps with training your brain. Having those melodies in your head of positive affirmations that God and the universe and the angels, even the demons, are for you. Everything is for you. Talked to my buddy Tave. We went out for lunch the other day, and I told him this word that I'm just infatuated with. The word is pronoia. We talked about this on the podcast several times. Pronoia. What does that mean? Well, we know what paranoia means, and to be paranoid is to think that everyone's out to get me. The universe is out to get me. Everything that I do, a dark cloud follows me. I can never do anything right. Nobody likes me. All I see is dead ends. Paranoia. People are coming for me. I'm going to be destroyed. Whatever it is, like these negative affirmations that you have in your head have made you paranoid. Pronoia is the reversal of that. It's to understand that God and the universe are out to bless you. They are for your greater good. Not just that, but everything is here for your greater good. Your trials, your setbacks are a setup. There is greatness inside of you. There is greatness in front of you, behind you. Though 1,000 may fall at your right, 10,000 at your left, no harm shall come nigh thy dwelling. Understand universal laws and that God is for you. The universe, whatever you put out is coming back to you. If you put out negativity, if you put out chaos and confusion, guess what's coming back? Chaos, confusion. If you put out blessings, righteousness, affirmations, alms, helping people, being a friend when you see someone in need, like that's coming back to you. When you're in need, it's coming back to you. You're going to have a friend. When you're helping somebody, when they're starting their business or their ministry, or your friend puts out a book, buy it. Because guess what? When you put out your book, the universe is going to make sure that somebody comes and buys yours. For me, it's the same people. When my community, when they put out stuff, I buy it. Hands down, no questions. Anybody that I know that's in my community, they put out a book. I got, I wish I could show these off, but my friend Roy Peterson just put out these flashcards. I got them in my vehicle. They're these beautiful, positive affirmation flashcards. And he's been supporting for a long time. And I seen he put that out. There was no question. Didn't even have to check the bank account. Listen, $25, boom, I got it. Listen, when you support people, support shows up. Whatever you put out is coming back to you. It's coming back to you. So make sure that you're doing good deeds. Make sure that you're doing good things. I want to open up the chat. If anybody has any questions, anybody wants to cover anything, I see the questions here. We do have the Zoom open for those of you who are patrons, who are supporting. You can get in and ask a question via video chat if you like as well. So that is available now. And let me see if I can find this little video. Let's see. I'm going to try to find this video, and it may pull I don't know if I can find it, but I remember this. My wife could tell me. Aaron, I'm gonna call her in here. There was this video, and I'm thinking of, hey, what was the name? We're live. What was the name of that video of episode of My Little Pony with the little elf that had the cloud following him, and it was raining?
They call him the Jinx. I don't know.
The Jinx on My Little Pony.
His name was a weird name.
Okay, so he was jinxed.
That was his name. Woebegone.
So he was jinxed with this cloud to follow him around, and it was always doom and gloom and nothing could work out for him. Did they ever? How did that episode end? Did he ever turn around, or he just saw beauty in it? How did that end?
I think he ended up just learning to cope with it.
He learned how to cope with it. He was jinxed. Anyway, I can't find anything on YouTube with it. How you spell his name? Wobegon?
W-O-E.
W-O-E-B.
Like whoa.
Uh-huh.
Be gone.
Okay.
W-O-E-B.
Okay, woe be gone. Got it. So woe be gone. I don't see nothing on YouTube, but I remember that episode. That little troll or whatever. Thanks, babe. Anyway, he had this cloud. Woebegone, My Little Pony Wikipedia. Let's see if I can show the screen. Me and Web. What screen are we showing? There is the screen there. For those of you who are watching, I don't know if y'all remember My Little Pony. If you grew up in the 80s, you probably remember it. That's a picture of him. He always had this little cloud that was following him around. And there's a lot of people who feel that way. And that's not the truth, man. That's not the truth. You have the ability to change your surroundings, change your circumstance, and make something out of nothing. But I often wonder, is this for everybody? Because people, we're definitely not built the same. Obviously, if you work the system, it will work for you. Any of these systems, it works if you work it. We have people who kick drug addiction and they're in AA, and a lot of people say AA don't work. AA is not of God. AA is universal religion. And a lot of Christians hate AA because it's not a Christian. But guess what? It works for you if you work it. Church, they even incorporate Celebrate Recovery, like a lot of AA stuff in the churches now. Why? Because it works. It works. A lot of those procedures take you through similar steps. Even a biblical step of forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Forgive those that you have wronged. Forgive those people who have wronged you. Make amends. Like all of these things, which are biblical truths. Ho'oponopono. Thank you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Like all of these modalities, if you will, that are here to help you. Choose one and work it. There's no reason that this stuff should work for me and it doesn't work for you. That's not it. God is not a respecter of persons that it only works for some people. Some people are special. Their situation works out. Listen, if you're looking for it, it's going to come to you. But you have to do the work. You have to do the inner spiritual work, obviously. It's what we do. But it's when the alchemical process is when that spiritual alchemy is when it transforms to the next level. And it's when you're able to turn ether, the mind, when you're able to turn thoughts into matter. Every move is a calculated step. We've been working on this for a long time. Nothing comes overnight. You got to stick with it. Consistency is key. You have to stick with it. You can't start and stop. I was talking to another friend, The Voice, Stephen Cook, the other day. He was talking about some hip hop artists that he used to listen to back in the day, and they were going pretty hard. They were getting a lot of views and had a big movement. And this was, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Where are they now? He said, well, I think most of them quit. He said they tried so hard and they didn't make it, so they just gave up. You got to stick with it. Give up. Nah. How bad do you want it? Give up. No. Keep going. You gotta make sure you gotta choose a direction. Choose which way you want to go. Again, the mentor thing. Find people who's already doing it. Pick their brain. Listen to their interviews. If you have something that you want to do, again, spirituality, find somebody that you respect, who is, that you want to not, fasten yourself after. But if they got things that are working for them, I want to know about it. Whether it is spiritual, whether it is financial, relationship wise. You got a lot of people out there who they aren't in relationships. They're not married. They're not giving relationship advice to married couples. Hold on. Let me see your fruit of your marriage. Let me see the fruit, and then you can speak on it. Find somebody who's doing it and doing it right, and learn from them. If you have to, again, pay them to, so that you can, so that they can be your mentor, listen, there's so much that can be imparted. There's so much that you can learn. But, and I've said this with my Path of the Healer course that we just went through. It was amazing. I enjoyed it. I'm seeing everybody step out in different areas in their life, and they're seeing so much breakthrough and stepping out things that they never thought that they would do. After this 8-week course, they're stepping out into it. And the interesting thing of something like that is it's behind the paywall. Like to really get that side of me and to get my attention to go 8 weeks through this material with you and to have it behind the paywall. For me, all of that stuff that's in my course is sprinkled throughout this podcast. There's almost 400 episodes, and I don't think there's nothing that I haven't mentioned. So you have to listen to every episode and take notes and write this stuff down, and you can get it. You don't need it. But if you want to work one-on-one, hands-on, and develop in fashion, you got to get a coach. You got to find somebody who is doing it, pick their brain, get with them, consume their content. And obviously, people watch my podcast. People hire me to help them with their podcast. People hire me with branding and intros and logos and transitions and having it look beautiful. And it's worth it. Why? Because you find somebody who's already doing it and you hire them and get them to show you how to do it. All of it's on YouTube. You might have to watch 1,000 videos. That's a lot. 100. That's a lot. 50. And then trial and error. Listen, man, like you gotta. As long as you're helping people get what they want. And so in my case, a beautiful podcast, a professional intro, a professional overlay, make it look good. As long as you're helping people get what they want, God, the universe, will make sure that you get what you want. That's universal law. I didn't make that up. It's in a lot of who I'm not sure. I think it was Zig Ziglar who coined that term. But really cool interview today with John Assaraf. His company that he keeps, like he runs in those same circles of people that I'm teaching a lot of their content, even with Bob Proctor, who is somebody that I consume a lot of his content on success and on manifestation and the law of attraction. And all of those guys were in the movie The Secret. John was in that as well. He was in The Secret, the power of a vision board. My wife meets with her sister, I believe it's once a month, and they have a scrapbook, but it's a planner. And so they plan out their goals and they check one another. Okay, what are you doing to achieve this? What steps are you taking? Where you are? And literally, like, they're accomplishing their dreams. They're writing their dreams down. They're writing their goals down. I've got my papers for 2 years ago, and literally, I think 3 years ago, what my goal was to be able to put my family in a house. And last night, we slept in our new home for the first night. It took that manifestation took 2 years, 3 years. Actually, it's taken a lot longer than that, right? Every move is a calculated step, and everything that I do is to be able to have this desired outcome. So, but you got to have a vision. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Get a vision, get a goal, get a dream, write it down, make it plain, make it easy so that those who hear it, so that those who see it may run with it. Run with it. Who is you? You got to run. You got to remind yourself. I always talk about how those who are very creative, those who live in the Einstein brain, they have all these ideas coming to you, and they get started. They get started on a podcast. They get started on a website. They start branding it. They start spending money. They spend 4 weeks on it. They're just putting in work, and they're ready to launch. But just before, self-sabotage kicks in for many different reasons. But the reasons that you had another idea. Oh, what? I can do this. Oh, I like what he's doing. Let me try that. And they'll scrap everything that they've been working hard to do. 4 weeks. Been working on this for 4 weeks. Nothing. I mean, longer than that. People jump ship and start something else. And I say those who are creative, those who just have so much vision that you allow it to pull you out of your present moment and this thing that you said yes to and that you were going to develop. It would work if you work it. many friends jump from job to job to job to job. Amazing people, but their consistency sucks. Their desire to see it through, to continue to work at it. When times get hard, when another idea comes, when it's not paying yet, you'll jump to something else that you think will pay quicker. And these are a bunch of MLMs that happen this way. Multi-level marketing. I got people who, man, you name it. Essential oils, CBD. Like if I get you to sign up, I'll make money off of you. Affiliate marketing, all of this stuff. People get started in so many. You have those friends come to you and they'll try to sell you stuff and get you to sign up with all of these great ideas. They're all great ideas. Like every single affiliate marketing thing with like, whether it's weight loss supplements, whether it's, whatever, CBD, essential oils, like those are the main ones right now. Health products, they're all good. Every single one of those. But those people don't stick with it. They don't see immediate results. And we know that to be successful, to have longevity, you need to focus on delayed results. Delayed results. Let your results come to you later. Content is king. Put something out. It's going to pay you tomorrow. When you're sleeping, it's going to pay you. People are buying your meditations. People are buying your courses. People are listening to your content. There's ads on it. You're getting paid around the clock. I'm giving you the game. Anyway, it's out there. It's for you to do it. We can put it out there. We can tell you how to do it, and you still won't do it. This ain't for you. It's for that other person who's like looking for those ways to be successful, to find ways for their dreams, their visions, their goals, hopes to manifest. And if you do the work, it'll work for you. Don't envy nobody. Don't get bitter, which many do. You got to understand that there's people who look at what I'm doing and they're envious of it. To be straight up with you, they're envious of my marriage. They're envious of my career. They're envious that I get to wake up every day and work on music or interview amazing people. I built this. I built it. I'm still building this. This isn't overnight. This didn't come overnight. Nobody gave me this. Wasn't no opportunities in front of me. I created them. And you have to create them. You have all the tools right here where you could do it. YouTube. The world is at your fingertips. Your cell phone. And I was talking about this the other day. Like a lot of channels on YouTube that have a lot of subscribers and a lot of people into it, like their quality's not even good. They're just using a cell phone and they're just talking to the cell phone or showing you videos. There's this one lady who and I just seen her the other day, and this is an example. She like films the sun with her cell phone and shows you images of cloaked UFOs around the sun. These fleets of UFOs that are around the sun. I know it's woo-woo. I know it's out there. But that's what she does. Quality's bad. Pictures are bad. Hard to make out if that's even legit. But I mean, she'll go live and there's hundreds of people watching this old lady point out UFOs with her cell phone footage and her camera. The quality's bad. It's not up to par. Listen, whatever you're passionate about, there's people who are out there who want to watch it. You're not the only one who's passionate about it. You may have to be vocal. You may have to make your own lane, but you have all the tools out there. If you got a smartphone and you have a brain, a know-how that you could train your brain for success, come on, man. Come on, help people. If you're helping people, they're going to come. They're going to get it. Do how-tos. What do you like to do? And then do how-tos on it. Do you like to build websites? How to install a plugin, how to find a domain, how to this, come on, man. And then you can, well, there's no money and I'm not, I can't get any money from YouTube yet. Affiliate marketing. And people are spending money. And are they spending money with you or not? If you help, you could do a video on a review. And there's so many affiliate marketing things. Like you could do a review on a computer, and literally I just bought a new computer tower and I'm watching tons of reviews, and in each one of those reviews on these products, if you go to Amazon and you click that link to buy it, the person who made that video gets a kickback because you went to Amazon or whatever website through their link. Affiliate marketing. There's people who make thousands of dollars on affiliate marketing every month just by looking at a product and doing a review. Alpha Brain, check it out. Alpha Brain's amazing. I love it. It's a good product. Check it out. Click the link in the description to get a bottle 10% off. Guess what? If you go buy it, boom, I get $20. But the bigger the item is, whether it's computers or technology, which a lot of people are doing, that's a big it's a big investment. It's a big ticket item. Another friend of mine, Tariq Bibi, he's one of my coaches, but he told me and I got him set up with the podcast, and he did me a review, and he talks about this in the review. But he talks about how when I helped him set up his podcast, and then he's interviewing people who have affiliate plans. He's getting healers on who have their own courses, who charge, a lot of money for a one-on-one session to book them in a session or book them as a mentor. But they have their referral link set up that if you click the description of the interview that he did, he has his own referral link. Because he talked about these people, because he sent them that way, he made $400 by interviewing a lady, and someone wanted a session with her because they fell in love with their work, or they really resonated with it. So I want a session with this lady. As long as they click that link that was in his description, you get. And because there was a high ticket item, Tariq made $400 off of 2 people who clicked this link. So stop complaining. It might not be in you, but only you know that. But you can retrain your brain, whatever it is that you want, man, to do what you love for a living. I was even talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking about how there's some people, that was Tave the other day, where some people, we talk about this drive and to do what you love, and I get to wake up and do what I love, and it is envious, and it came out of envy though. Because I seen other people doing it, and I got envious. But it was a good kind. It was an envy, like, man, I wish I could do that. I didn't turn into a hater. I did the simp. I did the spiritual work. I did the emotional work, the mental work, and the physical work. So that what I seen what they were doing, that it was possible to wake up every day and to do what I love for a living. And I did it. So I hope that it drives you to envy. The scripture says it would. The scripture says you will be the envy of all nations. All people will envy you because of your love, because of your peace, because of your favor with God and with people. Come on. I was talking with Tave, and I put this out there, and I talk about, there's people who are changing oil and working on motors, and that's their thing. They love it. I feel like there has to be people who are doing that, right? People who are changing your oil, people who are, checking you out at Walmart or whatever. Now we get into a place where technology can really do all that, where technology works for us, and you don't need to be flipping a burger. Maybe that's an opportunity for somebody starting out or something, but it doesn't have to be your career of, $8 an hour or whatever they're making now. They're trying to make more. But anyway, with that being said, that those people who are under the vehicles, installing, fixing, repairing, they're listening to the podcast. And I mentioned that to Tave. He said, yeah, but even them, if that is their passion, they can maybe even start their own business. They can own the company versus getting paid for each job or paid by the hour to do what they love. They can start their own business, whether it's changing oil. There's ways to make more money. There is ways to invest, and there's ways to still do what you love and make a greater income off of it versus showing up and you have to be there. Would that be, because I got a friend of mine. Listen, he done moved to where he's a rapper friend of mine, and he's bidding on jobs. He goes out, he gets jobs, and he hires other people to do it, but he takes half of the commission right off the bat, taking half. He'll book an $8,000 job, pay the person $4,000 to do it, and he takes $4,000 off the top just by getting the job and being the middleman. Listen, y'all out here broke, ain't got no money. That's on you. It is out here, and I teach people, how to do it, how to do what you love, and how to wake up each morning and do it. And there's a mindset that we think that because you're broke, you think everybody's broke. That was definitely my mindset. Nobody got no money. Nobody's going to buy this. They don't have money. That's not the case. That's not true at all by any means. If you guys want to hang out, want to ask some questions or just join the conversation, I'm opening that up to do that. So I think we got Brother Dave joining us. Dave, what is up, man?
What's up, man? Good to see you, brother.
Hey, man, got your testimonial yesterday for the class and for the program, and you're natural on camera, so you definitely need to keep that up, man.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. I'm listening to you and doing the live, and there's a little bit of a lag. I wonder if there's any way to fix on my end.
Pause the other video. Pause the YouTube video and just listen on Zoom.
Okay.
Yep. So just have one going, and it should work out. So, yeah, for those who are
bear with me.
You're good, man. For those who are patrons and want to hang out, I try to open up the podcast for those just want to come in and say a couple words and ask questions or just join the conversation and veer it wherever you want to take it. So we have the ability to do that. You got to figure it out, Dave?
Okay, I'm back.
All right,
yeah. So I wanted to speak a little bit about my situation because I think it might apply to some of your other viewers who, are excited about this spiritual journey. They feel like they have a message to bring to the rest of the world, but maybe they're in a relationship where they feel like their relationship is holding them back.
Yeah.
And I was singing that song for a very long time. And what I did in my present circumstance and situation is I've been married for 18 years. I've got a 14-year-old son, 11-year-old daughter, and my wife and I have come out of Christianity. So my wife is heavily in, not heavily, I would say, but she's more in alignment with fundamental Christianity, where there's heaven and hell, there's judgment, consequences, and I've moved out of that. So as I move out of that, it was pretty scary for her. So now I have to think to myself, okay, I've got these epiphanies or whatever you want to call them, that I can connect with other people. But it's almost like I have to wait for a little bit of lag time for her to capture that idea too. And not only just capture that, but to see the fruit in my life.
Yeah.
So she can partner with me, so I can be like a trusted person to come behind in whatever the vision of our life is. And right now I try to paint it, hey, 20 years, let's go to Hawaii and renew our vows. To me, that's a business success. Like, that's my business success.
Yeah.
If I look at, I tell a lot of the guys at work, a lot of the guys at work, I work in construction, they come out of divorces and stuff like that. And I'll say your primary investment is yourself, your health. But after that, it's your marriage, because, hey man, if your marriage goes, everything goes. And if your marriage is very tough, and your life is really tough. So to me, to make an investment, like we had to get a marriage counselor to help us to see some of the problematic areas of our life where we can allow healing in. And that's what we did in our life. And we just met with our counselor yesterday. We are leaps and bounds, man. Yeah. Leaps and bounds. And two months ago, we were actively talking about separation.
Yeah, and that's when we started the course, man. Like, I'm super proud of you, dude, because I know all of this stuff, and I'm super proud of you, man, that you stuck with it. And if you, like, all of it will work if you work it, right?
That's right. And I do know there's special things inside of me. I was taking a walk the other day, and it's like I'm working on things, I'm churning on things that they could be in a book format, but I'm also getting the nudge to, hey, do something right now. So primarily, I'm celebrating my marriage, my family. That I'm able to stay here in my home, play basketball games with my son, watch Disney movies with my daughter, and connect more with my wife. That's what I'm celebrating right now.
That's the biggest manifestation. And like the thing is, like, okay, let's go here, because it almost it almost, and whatever the enemy is or whatever the negativity is, it's like with manifestation. You manifested that because of decisions that you made 20 years ago to get married. And now this is the outcome. This is the fruit of your life, is this marriage. And it gets rocky. It gets hard. And it almost got taken away, maybe outside circumstances, maybe inside circumstances within the psyche. A lot of people can manifest something in their life. They can start it, but they can't finish it. They can't maintain it. Like anybody you can do, again, with the MLM stuff. You can start it. You can sign up. You can get your first package. You can do it for a year. You can't finish it. You can't maintain it. So there's an interesting quote that I hear this a lot, that don't let your talents take you places that your integrity can't keep you. You started this, but there's no way that you can maintain it. So do the inner work, spiritual work. Make your mind up. Things get rocky. Businesses get rocky. Your marriage is a business agreement. It's a relationship agreement that you signed up to. It gets rocky. Other things come in, influences. You get knocked on your butt. But you remember, listen, I said yes, and I vowed to do this, and I'm not finna be the laughing stock of anybody, of myself. I'm not taking the easy way out. I signed up for this to be hard. And again, your marriage is a perfect example. Your business, your even like your spirituality. You know what I'm saying? All of it. So the harder part, it's easy to start. The harder part is to maintain that thing that you said yes to.
Right on, man. I appreciate you. Love you, bro. And, blessings to you and your family. So happy for you and your house,
dude,
man.
It was so magical sleeping there last night. I'm working hard and trying to get everything situated. A lot of hard work, but it's paying off for sure. And we've been scrimping and not spending any money for months even. And my wife was trying to buy stuff. Like, nope, you ain't buying it. You gotta wait till we get the new house. Then it'll work. But the new house seemed so far away. Like, it just seemed like something that wasn't going to happen. And now we're just like buying furniture and bought a Roomba and all kind of little stuff. Yeah. So we're super excited, man. So thank you for that, bro. You celebrate that with us. It means the world.
Cool. All right, man.
All right, brother. Talk with you soon. And for everybody, again, I know we've been talking about it, but me and Dave's going to do an official episode soon so we can really get to the deep on his story and really feature him as a guest on here. So I'm going to send that link out. Hopefully when I get off of here. Remind me if I don't, please, but I'm going to try to. I'll post the link in the group so you guys can book a talk. I'd love to have you on, bro.
All right.
All right, Dave. Dave Volkner, ladies and gentlemen. Later, bro.
All right. Peace.
That's a good guy. That is a good guy. Dave Volkner. Love that dude. He's been a day one. He's been supportive and he went through our my program, and he shows up, man. He shows up even when things were going hard. He kept showing up. And that's the thing. Keep showing up. I can't tell you, even with like our Patreon or like our Thursday night sessions, which are really good, and it is the community aspect. Like, some people show up and then you may see them one time. There's people who've been here since the beginning, and I can't do nothing but salute that. Every Thursday they show up, and they know who they are. They continue to show up, even when they don't feel like it. They're tired. They don't want to be there. They show up. Guess what I owe it? I should show up too, and not just be there, but really be present. In whatever you're doing, whatever you're building, whatever you're creating, presence. Be there in your home, in your relationships, with your family, with your business, all of it. It'll work for you if you work it. If not, somebody easily slip in and take it from you. It's easy to get there. It's not as easy to maintain. It can be done. Hard work pays off. Delayed gratification, helping people get what they want. In turn, you get what you want. With that, I'm going to say peace and shalom. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you want to join Patreon, check it out. We're going to be doing probably some breath work tonight, some guided meditation, some fellowship. It's going to be good. It always is. Patreon.com/TruthSeekah. There's many different tiers, and you get different stuff. And I've tried to slam pack it full of content. There's a bunch of music that you won't find anywhere else. There's early demo stuff when I first started figuring out how to rap and how to and it doesn't even sound good, but you get to hear that early. There's a whole album of stuff that I did on there. There's a bunch of music. So if you're here for the music, I'm working on new music, excited to release. There's going to be new music uploaded, and there already is like 7 or 8 songs on there that are going to be on either my next project or my next few projects, because they differ just a little bit. So I'm working on a lot of stuff, and I'm uploading it there. So thank you guys for continuing to rock with me for the rest of 2020, going into 2021 and moving forward. Great things ahead. What's up, everybody? I see y'all in chat. Shalom, shalom. We'll do this again very soon. Many blessings, everyone.
Your will so much higher than mine, so much higher than mine. Your so much deeper than mine, so much deeper than mine.
Well, that does it for this episode, folks. To hear more episodes of the TruthSeekah podcast, head over to TruthSeekah.com. And if you're wanting to support the show and get rewards, go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/TruthSeekah.